But I like a lot of the people at C9, so it's not like, these guys, I'm not on these guys.
There's no like personal bias.
It's not like that bad, but obviously, I do feel Thanatos is a little overhyped. Like personally, I feel like the like, oh yeah, he should be like MVP is a little crazy to me personally. But
hey, me too, bro.
Yeah.
I tried way too hard to prove it, and I got smoked, and I made him look like it, and I was just like, oh my god.
Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Pros. I'm Kangas, and I'll host alongside 3 players, all of which will be playing this finals weekend. We have Bwipo waiting for the winner from Saturday, along with a Blaber and Fudge. Congratulations, Fudge. You just won today, so your name is now joining that conversation. I want to get your thoughts first on the series that just happened, because that just wrapped up. So where are your emotions at right now?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I think most of the games that we won, we played generally clean. There was some oopsies, obviously, in all the games, but game 3 was terrible. I completely ran it down in that game. I want to forget that one for sure. But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. Obviously, I think TL is much weaker compared to Fly or C9, so it's not like super cocky or anything. But we have some pretty good confidence going to our games. Feels nice. Yeah,
and Contracts got Player of the Series, but your name was up there a lot as well. Bwipo, I know it's tough to really decide like who should get that one because you had a really good series overall.
Except game 3,
Except game 3, but I want to get your thoughts, Bwipo, on the. Let's give the Fudge rating from the series.
Game 1, what did you play?
I don't remember.
Rise. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were a little quiet until the end of the game. I think you took over later. I feel like your TPs were a bit misplaced because you TP'd into Rise ult. Like you don't want to use both globals in the same play. I think a big thing is you make a play, you save a global, and you make another one. So I wasn't a big fan of that, but you did knock on the enemy Nexus.
we did ult into the base.
And then you get a good ult into the base. I think you had a quietly good game, and I think you were replying mostly to what was happening in the game, which I think was solid. Game 2, you had a really good performance. I really liked that you participated in the game because the bot side was like completely open.
That was the Aatrox one.
Your ball lane got dove by Lulu Aphelios, double kill, and then
that was when I TP'd, right?
You roamed first, so they went for the mid play. Sejuani, Lucian, Nami went for like a mid play on him when he had no flash. You moved up first, and you basically stifled the game. You made sure Aphelios didn't get out of hand, and I think that was really intelligent of you because you participated in pretty much every mid play in that sequence.
And then also that was the one where you had the big Aphelios or big Aatrox play onto the Aphelios, getting over the Raptor pit wall.
Yeah, that one was a really close fight actually. That was so like I don't know, I was like nervous kind of in that fight. It's you misstep one time and then you die obviously to Aphelios, so you have to play really slow. It's like super, like you just have like the urge to just send it, as Aatrox, and it's like you have to hold your breath.
Do you feel the darkened bloodlust, when you're playing the champion?
No, I don't feel that, to be honest. I had to not.
I do. I have to send it. Like when I'm playing Aatrox, I can't control myself.
Flash on them,
I think jungle darkened champions. Do you get the same with like the Fury? Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes when you play Nefiri, when you get the first kill with Nefiri, you like need to use the second
ult. You need to use
the
second ult,
like,
no matter what.
Even if it's like terrible, like you feel like you really need to use the second ult, and then you just end up killing yourself half the time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Game 2 was really good, I think. It was a very good performance. I think you were the difference maker in that game. Game 3, yard game, whatever. And Game 4, I think you were a bit quiet on the Jace, I think, but I think you had the items. I think the only reason why I feel like you ended up being quiet is because you got caught when you had your 2-item spike. I think if you didn't get caught in the bot jungle there and die, you would have had a really good game.
I agree.
That's just Jace in a nutshell. I feel like if you're on spike, you do need to make sure you keep tempo and you have a good game. So I went for Contracts mostly because I feel like if he didn't Sejuani ult the Nico in every single fight in one-shotter, I felt like that game would still have been a really hard one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if he
played
didn't,
really well in that game.
I think if he didn't lock down the Nico, even though you had a really good game, that would have made the difference. And then I think in the other games you won, I mean, in Jarvan, he was driving the game. And then on a Fury, I feel like he just had a very solid performance. Nothing insane, but a very good game. So
it's consistent.
I basically said you can give it to either. I don't mind, but I have ego, so of course I had to give it to the jungler. To be fair, the problem was I have ego about jungling too, because like I played a split, so I was just like, fuck. Like I'm looking at the rest of your team, like can I? And then Palafox, I was like Palafox, and then he had the Orianna game. I was like, well, fuck. That Orianna game, like the one where he was playing as Nico, he was getting smoked the whole game.
Leblanc didn't bring it back for you. That was funny. Actually, hearing his thoughts on it.
He played really well in the one game, but like you just couldn't excuse the Orianna game because like the thing is he had 2 stinkers. Bwipo had 2 stinkers because like the Lucian game, same game. You and Contracts pulled that game back, so like you can't you can't justify it.
It's about
So
how
it
many
has to be
stinkers
you
you
or him.
have. Yeah.
how many?
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to go back to expectations, though, because Palafox mentioned something in the interview that I had with him post-game about just how, like, expectation for the team, everyone was thinking Team Liquid was going to win. So I want to ask Blaber, because we haven't really gotten your thoughts on it yet. Everyone thought it was going to be like Team Liquid, C9, Flyquest. So what do you think about Shopify being able to take that top 3 spot?
I mean, I thought that it would be a close series. Like this week, at least, I didn't think that TL don't seem like a very good team to me. To be honest, they just seem like iffy.
Sure.
I mean, I predicted TL to win because Shopify did have the greatest scrim week for us this week.
Oh yeah, that's true. We hinted. I mean, we hinted every week of scrims recently. No, like I feel like scrims recently have been like very.
Results against us were human.
Yeah, no, actually, it was our best week against Fly, and our worst week against C9 this week. So
I didn't like. I was like, oh, Shopify are looking like a bit rough, but I thought it was going to be like a pretty close series just because. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think TL are good, but I think Shopify just played a lot better than them today, and yeah, they won.
Okay, and so expectation, I think, at the beginning of the split was almost higher for Team Liquid by the end. Do you think that that's fair? Like, just looking at their performance and their roster?
Yeah, I mean, they won the split before. I mean, to be fair, like, I'm not sure if they were the best team in that split either. I think Fly losing to 100 was like not supposed to happen, and
Bwipo was like, that's a little awkward, but yeah.
What happened to you guys?
Yeah, and then even in that week, we were like destroying TL, like the whole split, we were destroying them in scrims. It was like 5-1, 6-0, pretty much like every scrim block, and then we go on stage, I mean, and we just play like shit. I don't know. I was pretty sick that day, but regardless of being sick, I think we played bad. So, yeah.
I mean, they had Gigabuff Bros. Like they had
also
their own facility in Brazil.
Their facility was.
It was Orgap. I will not speak further. But
That's anything else.
It had to be said. It had to be said. Like it had to be said.
We stayed at the facility for like one day before we were about to fly, and like all of us were like, if we were here, we would have won this split too.
Yeah?
Like that's what we were saying.
What was the magic? Did they have like personal like hand massages and like
honestly, they just had a central AC, which we were missing.
That would help, I suppose.
Stop talking about this, guys.
All right, well, if Fudge wants to move on, we can move on there. I want to actually ask before that, though, because, you know, the Flyquest last split aside did just take you down in the last series that you had. So I want to get your thoughts on what happened on Saturday there, because that was a big matchup, our first 5-game series overall. So what do you think, Blaber? And then we'll go Bwipo's thoughts after.
I think consistently throughout the series, Fly were doing better than us in mid-game. I think they were getting like leads just from between the time of Drakes. I think they were getting goal leads. They were playing the map a bit better than us. But I think game 2, we threw really hard at the Nexus. I think we probably should have won from the point we were in. I like flashed in because Corey got flashed on, and then I like kind of panicked, tried to save him, but he was completely fine. Like we could have just ran away. And yeah, we got caught on mid literally again. So back to back, we just kind of got caught, and then I think we were getting picked a bit too much in that series as well. But I think from my point of view, like Fly were playing better than us in the mid game, and that's a lot of the reason they were getting leads and doing well in the games as well.
Okay. Now, something that I've noted with C9 players is, especially like during the positioning phase when you're able to take down Flyquest, you were so happy, so excited. It feels like it matters more when C9's played versus Flyquest. Why does it matter more when you're played versus Flyquest? Or do you feel like that's not an accurate representation?
I mean, I wouldn't say it matters more like versus Fly than any other team. Like, it's still important to win all their series, but Fly do the best versus us in practice at least. So for us, it's like, we think that the series would be close, or like we're not favored to win probably is like why we're more excited. But I wouldn't say like winning against Fly matters more than winning against like another team like TL or Shopify or anyone else. I think all the games matter the same. You have to win.
Fair enough. Yeah. At the end of the day, you do want to get the wins. But Bwipo, I want to get your perspective from the series, because I think on broadcast earlier you said you took a nap for games 3 and 4 before waking back up for game 5.
Yeah, I was running it down in those games. I feel like I was playing as if I had something to prove. It was like I was listening too much to narratives. I won game 1 and 2, and I was just like, you know what? I think I've got some leeway here to try and make a movie.
Exactly. You have some.
I've got some leeway. So I started trading a bit more in lane, and I was like, oh, like it's looking ugly. Like my wave management, like everything. I just kind of started seeing red. So, tried way too hard to make a difference, I think. And I think as a result, that led me into making a lot more mistakes. I think when I played the 5th game, I kind of just calmed down, played my old Gragas, threw some Qs on the wave, and I was just big chilling and collected a little freebie on the red buff.
Yeah. No, the Gragas game, I think you played really, really well. I'm actually surprised because I thought Null would actually like really get ahead in this matchup generally whenever I've seen it. But I think you stabilized the matchup very, very well.
I think I was also on him. I think it was game 5, and he. I think
I
that
didn't actually see the lane itself.
Oh yeah. But I think that like I could feel it when I was playing my lane. I was like, it's going a bit too good.
Yeah,
you know? I was like,
it's giving you a little bit too much space.
Too much breathing room here.
Yeah.
I could really feel it. So I felt like I was in a very comfortable position. Like I said, because I misplayed in games 3 and 4, I felt like all the pressure was off my shoulders. I was like, you know what? Even if I run it down at this point, it's to be expected. Like I already ran down to running down one more or whatever, you know. So I was just being chilling, and I just felt like the game was going to be in good hands. I was a bit worried. I was only really worried ever in the sense of like I felt like we weren't playing it like hard enough because we got like a double kill on Tristana. I didn't really feel that advantage in the game.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I was just like, I mean, as soon as I locked in Gragas and I got to my mana items without losing the game, I was just like, it's on me. And I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at Gragas, so good things will happen.
The other cool thing from that series was first time we had the 5-game Fearless. You pulled out a lot of fun picks. Things like the set especially was one that we got to see.
I mean, I've been cooking that one for a long time.
Yeah, I've been experiencing that.
Oh, you have? Okay, what's been your experience of it so far?
I didn't know the matchup. I kept fighting level 1, like inting my ass off.
Yeah?
I didn't know how to play the matchup.
Yeah. It was Gwen, right?
It was Gwen, yeah. I mean, generally, I actually think what Thanatos did of like the Bramble Vest like helps get through it, but at the same time really hurts her spikes in mid game. I mean, obviously, I think you just kind of need to get through it. The early game actually went really well for Gwen. I felt like in that game where she actually ended up killing you with Maokai at like level.
It was like level 7.
Yeah, level 7. And that kind of saved.
We were
her spot.
actually in a fine spot after Gwen got the kill on set, but then we like made our lane assignments were just so bad.
Yeah,
and then Gwen was
really
just getting like extremely fucked.
Yeah.
Because she just kept laning against Clistornata, and then like I don't know, we just really messed up putting our laners in the right lanes, and then we weren't pressuring. Like we had Lucian Milio on mid against Annie, but nothing was really happening. Whereas Clistornata was just taking place, Gwen couldn't farm, and then everything there like from those like next 5 minutes was just like terrible for us. And then Gwen just got so behind when she was in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, I tried playing that matchup against C9 in scrims. First time set in scrims, and I completely ran it down. I got solo killed like level 5 or some shit, trying to all in, and then like gave him some false confidence, you know.
I mean, Seth is for sure. I think he's a pretty delicate champion when it comes to laning, because I think that he's one of those champions where you need to know when you need to put your foot down on all in and when you need to like back off. He's a knowledge check, I think, for the most part. And then later in the game, I don't know, he's just a walking nuke, you know, like he just shows up and he just starts one-shotting people if you know, like he can just at any given point like turn a team fight. I think he's one of those champions where you just gotta like lay your life down and deal like 5,000 damage and be happy with it. So you don't care who you did the damage to, you just like walk in and just I die, they die, I don't care, I'm just gonna deal damage.
We saw that at the end with a haymaker too, like in the base.
That was the tech,
That was a big moment.
I mean, my experience in that game was a bit different, obviously, because I had a massive gold lead, so I felt like we threw, and then you guys got Baron and came back in.
That is what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you counter through.
That's what happened.
That was like, it's a complete free win, and then like we killed one guy, and we just like we did the Otacon, not the soul, which. Pretty sure we should have just taken the soul.
Most definitely.
Could have got the Otacon after you got the soul.
Probably.
Do you want to throw him under the bus? We made the call for the Otacon instead of the dragon.
I remember, but it doesn't matter. I don't throw people under the bus like that. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the champion's like a good X Factor champion, and I feel like if he's good in the game, he just deals a lot of damage, and that's kind of my MO. So I like him. I'm happy that I got to play him, but I have to admit that he is a bit of a like his performance is very polarizing. Even for myself, I've played him in scrims. I don't know if against you, but against C9, like sometimes I've run it down playing set as well, which is why they probably agreed to playing it. Because a lot of teams have been like really not wanting to do that. Because those are the teams that were just only seeing the positive end of sets. But
I'm sure that the perspective is very different between like Fudge.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't like we weren't surprised by the set pick. Bwipo's definitely played it versus us in scrims before, so we've seen it, and I mean, I'm sure Thanatos knows like the matchup. So.
And it was again 5 games. It was a much closer series than the last time. So Blaber, I want to get your thoughts on that because you got close. I mean, you pushed Flyquest all the way, and like you said, you know, tough competition right there. But I want to get the team's perspective in that game 5 when you know like you just got one more and you can do the reverse sweep. What were the vibes like?
I mean, honestly, our vibes were the same every game. Like nothing changed. Like sometimes, you know, after you're down 2-0, your team's tilted or something. But like for me, like I didn't feel that with my teammates. I felt like no one was really blaming each other. We were just like same vibes. We lost 2 games, same vibes as it was after we won 2 games. Like it was kind of just like, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we think they're gonna do, and then just kind of just play the game. And yeah, I mean, it was closer than last time, but I think last time we were playing like really bad. The last series, like the best of 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean.
Why do you think you were able to improve and kind of change that performance in the best of 5 compared to the last time?
I really think that's just the last time that we had an off day. Like, me personally, I literally ran it down. Like my Xinjiao game versus them, I actually just ran the game down. I started a Drake after my mid laner used flash in ult, and then I flashed in on the Nico mid. I think it was Nico, whatever, and then like pretty much solo lost that game. And then
I remember the Volibear and Bessie game. That was with the lost series, right?
That was the last series. Yeah, I mean, I was just farming. I picked Volibear because I wanted a champion that looked at Ambessa, Vi, and whatever, and I just queued on him, and I was like, whatever. I didn't want to pick a character that would die. Like, so I was kind of vegan.
It's Vi.
So I just took some early game priority champion. I was just like, I hope my team carries me, and in fact, they did. So I was a very happy panda. I get outscaled in that matchup, but like, I keep the game in a good spot, and then later in the game, I can queue on anyone. Like, I can just run at them, and if my team's behind me, then that's fine. I can push the guy out. But I actually don't beat Ambessa 1v1 later. So I was happy that we were getting some leads so the game would go faster, because I didn't get any leads 1v1 after I proxied and died.
Oh yeah,
you know why I died when I proxied?
Well, you actually did kind of get a lead. You got like monster death tempo, no?
No, I did, but like
you actually.
So what I didn't realize,
you got like death tempo. You went bot or something.
Wait, why were you proxying that way?
Because you were 20 seconds late from starting your own camp. No. So normally you would have finished your jungle clear at like 2:35.
Yeah, I mean, something how. Oh, I got invaded on level 1.
You got invaded, and you walked to your topside jungle.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know. I thought you started topside because we didn't see you.
Yeah.
So you were 20 seconds late on your recall, and that's like the timing for you to go get 4th wave.
Yeah.
So I thought you just based and went golems already, but you were just recalling your topside jungle because you were 20 seconds late, and you collect me, and I'm just like, why is he here?
I had nothing to do, so I was pretty happy.
No, exactly. That's why I was like really sad about it.
From my point of view, I was like, I'm fucked. Like, I just lost my
100%.
side, and then like,
no, 100%.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is nice. I mean, honestly, we could have killed you a bit faster if like, I think if we flashed over the wall instantly. Like we wouldn't have had to chase him all the way to his like tri-bush, and then Thanatos wouldn't have lost so many minions, and then it would have been like even better. But I mean,
I was really sad about that.
It was still good for me.
That stifled my game, and that's why I was a bit useless. So I was really happy my team carried me. And then I don't know. I feel like my team is actually just too good. Like everyone's like always talking about like how like my performance is like important to the team or whatever. I don't think that's true at all. Like I think I can run it down, and my team's still too good. So I don't know what to tell you. I feel like coming in with our bot lane especially, I feel like Busio has been playing incredibly well on the map, and then Masu's just doing his thing. Like, I don't know, he's just having his Masu moments.
Still carrying. And again, it was the game 5 in full Fearless, so I want to get to that point. Did you feel, either of you, like the champ pool being pinched was an advantage for either side? Because of course that was, the conversation about Flyquest is like, oh, all these champ pools for top lane, and like, it feels like Inspired plays a lot of different things. So I want to get both your thoughts on like what it was like, because that was your first time on stage going through a 5th game where there's, all these champions banned. So Blaber, let's get your thoughts first. What was the draft like in that game 5?
I mean, from my perspective, it's like, we don't really feel like the champ pools are changing, but it doesn't feel like you're pinched. You just have to pick what's like left. What do you think is good? Like, we kind of knew they were gonna first pick Leona, or like that Leona was gonna be a strong pick in that game, and it's just like, you just try to think about like what people play. Like, for example, Bwipo's champ pool, like people might think it's like unique, which it is, but like it's not champs that we would think are unique to him, because we've seen him play them so many times, right? So it's like, from our perspective, it's like, we don't feel like Fly are playing anything super unique, because it's just champs that they play versus us in scrims normally, right? Yeah. And then from our point of view, it's just like, this is what we play now after these champs are out, and it's like, we're pro gamers, like we play solo queue, we play many different champs in solo queue. We're ready to whip out champs first time on stage, like if we have to, not actual first time, right, because we played them before, but I didn't feel like there was any like advantage or disadvantage for either team. It's just like, this is what's out, and this is what you have to do.
How difficult is it though to get a comprehensive draft in a game 5? Because that's more what I'm interested in. I know that like the analysts, we talk about it a lot. Like theoretically, when you have all these champions pinched, you don't have the clear combos necessarily anymore that we see kind of ran over and over again in past seasons. So was there any added difficulty there, or did you feel like that is maybe overhyped on our end?
Well, generally you just someone will have a strong champ that they think is really strong.
Okay.
Going to game 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, and you just try to make a team comp around whoever thinks that their champ is going to be strong, and you just try to build a team comp. From my point of view, obviously there might be multiple champs that are strong, and you have to consider that. Like for example, in our series, Vi is banned every game, and so is Nico. So like, red side might have specific bans that you have to do going to later games, but it was like, you just try to find the champ that someone on your team is really comfortable with, and you try to make a good comp around it work.
That's cool. I like that kind of concept of if there's one big strong thing left, then you can kind of draft around that. Do you feel like it's about the same for Flyquest in your perspective?
Yeah, it depends. I think that's where you start, but I feel like there's also some champions where like, I don't know, your player just kills the Nexus, you know? Like, I don't know, like, you just lock that shit in, you know?
Yeah, true.
I don't know,
true.
like, I feel like the Croc's no longer allowed. I don't get him for free anymore, so that's a blower, but people were like willing to give him to me for a while, and I was just locking him in, and good things happened. I feel like most people realized, hey, shit, if I build the same items as this guy, it turns out this champ's pretty good. So unfortunately, I don't see any Eclipses running around anymore. I know your top laner was a big enjoyer of the Eclipse Renekton, and I was always giggling, you know, like, he's not very useful.
Not a believer in it.
Unfortunately, he copied my build, and then he's absolutely broken in our game, so I was just like, fuck. And then, yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I've got a few champions where I just feel really good about them. So I've always had that in my career. Honestly, my whole career, you can look at it. It's like, you look at my career, I think like 80% of the games that I play that are high pressure is me just locking in a champion that I'm good at. That is just like, I figure out the laning phase and I just play. Yeah, it's like Gangplank, Ornn, Aatrox, Gragas.
Being able to have the counter picks is also big for you later in the draft too. But speaking of draft, there's actually a fun one that we didn't touch on for your series yet. The game 4, Leblanc into Ziggs. Ziggs has been like the hot topic. I mean, I know we were covering draft. It was like, okay, are they going to ban the Ziggs, pick the Ziggs away, or do they have an answer for it? So I want to hear a little bit from your perspective. I already talked briefly with Palafox about it, but the LeBlanc into Ziggs, what was kind of the game plan there?
I mean, enemy comp just didn't really have any way to deal with LeBlanc, to be honest. And we banned out all the tanks, so he has to play like Cassante, which doesn't really do too well when I pick Jace, because the itemization is not easy, right, for Cassante. And then I think Christian was just really confident in it. He played it in scrims, and I mean, he's played LeBlanc a bunch in the past, so just pulled it out randomly. I mean, the champion is good when you can just go mid game and just WQ anybody and they can't do anything. So that's what happened, and we just won the game. I mean, the Koja J was like unable to play the game. The only way they could play is literally going on my side permanently and try to kill me. And I was just like, all right, guys, I'm not going that side. I'm going to the strong side no matter what. Goodbye.
I also got to ask, because it seemed like from Palafox's perspective, it was intentional, like leaving up the Ziggs and almost baiting him. Like, yeah, like pick it. Like, was it that big of a trump card that you felt that if they lock this in, we just win this?
It wasn't our only option, but I think he's pretty confident in it. I mean, I think we had other bans in that game. I forgot the exact bans, but we felt they were more necessary against TL. So yeah, I mean, he just thought he could play against Ziggs. He didn't think APA plays lane that well, even though he plays Ziggs a lot, so he could just play anything and figure it out in 4-5. So he did it. He played well. Carried us in that game, to be honest. Him and Neferi played insanely well. Bot lane also got ahead. Level 1 was good. Yeah, I just AFK'd that game, to be honest with you. I was like monster AFK in that game after I died one time. I was like in a good spot and into.
Hence why Contracts gets player of the series.
Was that the game where the Leon and Ezreal just like killed themselves?
Yeah, level 1.
Why did they do that?
I have no clue. Why are you asking me, man? I just looked at it. I was like, okay, sounds good.
I was so confused by that. Watching it.
Yeah, that was the invade, not like a real invade, but like contesting a Braum level 1.
I mean, they saw them.
Yeah.
Like they had full information of where they were.
What do you say if your bot lane does that, Blaber?
I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, okay, cool. Just move on. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm in the game. Like, I'm not gonna flame them in the game. Like, just play the game, you know.
Depends on like what kind of teammates you are. I feel like I've played with teammates where I could like start giggling like crazy, you know. I'm just like, oh wow. Like honestly, like if I was playing with Masu and there was like no one else in our comp, I'd like laugh at him for 5 minutes straight, you know. Like, and the vibes would be good. But I feel like it's a bit harder to do that unless your whole team's used to that.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
I think making fun of Masu is something that I do a lot in my solo queue. So like when we play together, like I mean, I don't know if you watch my stream, but I stream a lot. We play against each other. I make fun of him all the time, so I feel like that's what I would do. Just giggle at him, like, what the hell are you doing?
Does he ever fight back?
Oh yeah, I mean, he always got something to say. Like, he's always got a good idea. It's always a good play. It's always a good play. That play was obviously like, I mean, let's be real, they're pro players. They were thinking something, hopefully.
Yeah, there was something. I mean, maybe they want to cancel base because they hit an Ezreal Q or something. I don't remember exactly, but.
I mean, they just got smoked. Yeah. Not much you can do. I mean, I do think they got caught really, like, they were not expecting Braum.
Yeah.
Someone on that team forgot Braum was a pick. I forgot Braum was a pick. I was like, Leona's the only melee sport left. Like, they locked in Braum Silver. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's cooked. Like, I think playing Ezreal Leona into Braum Silver, that has to be one of like the worst matchups I think you can find.
What was the comms like on your end during that moment then?
I mean, people was like, "What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing?" Something like that, and he was like, "Kill them, kill them, kill them!" And then he was like, "He's done, he's done, he's done." And then he queued, and it came back, and we were like, "Wow!" That was basically what happened.
Nice.
And after I saw that, I was like, "Maybe we can win."
I love the Shopify comms, by the way. I don't know how much you players really pay attention, but we listen in a lot on the comms during the broadcast. What's going on with the massages, dude? Like, these massages are...
Anna DeMonte is goated with the massages. You gotta feel it. Bro.
Is this the secret sauce?
He should start charging. Yeah? He needs to start charging people for these massages because they're actually goated. Nothing can get as deep in the muscle as Tana DeMonte.
Really?
Yeah.
He's good grip strength then, I guess?
Yeah, no, he's fucking strong, bro.
Does he ever get, like, his elbows in there? Like,
Nah.
No.
He doesn't need that.
Yeah, he doesn't need that. He's got the thumbs, bro. That's all he needs.
Did he give you guys massages on Flyquest?
I vaguely remember. Like, not often.
He gave me a massage after I entered game 3, I'm pretty sure. He was like, he looked at me and he was like, "You're an Inter, I'm gonna give you a massage."
Oh, that almost makes it like a higher pressure thing. Like, now, like...
Yeah, no, as soon as I knew why he was giving me the massage, it was directly after I entered the game and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm trolling.
Yeah.
So
Need that reset.
it helped.
That does. Well, there was also, was it Revan that was also given a massage? I thought that we saw a moment where there were 2 massages happening at once.
I'm actually not sure. I never see it. I'm just paying attention to what I'm getting, you know?
You're too enraptured in your own.
I am in a different world.
I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so but he said he doesn't charge, so I could just like go ask Demonte.
You could ask him. You could ask him randomly.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll do that after this then. We'll see if he's still around.
I don't think so.
But I want to bring the conversation to next weekend now because we have our 3 finalists for Split 2, and up first on Saturday it's going to be Shopify Rebellion versus Cloud9. So, but let's actually get your thoughts on this one first to start things off here. What do you think? Just first thoughts on that matchup. Is what you expected coming into this weekend?
I mean, yeah, I actually did expect this. That's what I predicted. I just thought you guys would take one more game because I do think TL should have taken at least one more.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like they had the tools to take one more game. I don't know. I just think Shopify just like never FF type of team in scrims. They got us good with that mentality this time around. Like last week we shit on them 10-0. So like this week we're like a little bit more relaxed and they got us good. You know, it was still a positive record for us, I believe.
It was.
But,
it was.
Obviously not as like not a complete wash, and I think that's something that is a positive for them. Going into C9, I think, like I said, obviously in Game 2 you guys threw. Game 3 and 4, I could tell it was a complete clenching going on whenever you got near our base. Like there was no risks taken, and that is a hallmark of playoffs. So I don't know anymore because that's my initial take was like C9. There's room for throws there, definitely. After their games against us in Games 3 and 4, I felt like there was much less leeway there. But I think in general, it'll be a bloodbath.
Okay.
I think champions will be dying left and right.
5 games?
I don't know if it'll be 5 games. I think that it'll be 3-1 personally. Okay. I just think that in the games there'll be a lot of fighting, and I think in general, both junglers, I think both of you guys really like baiting fights and like initiating fights. So I think that from my perspective, it will be a lot of combat.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, I'm happy that you're setting the expectations for us because I love high kill games with a lot of combat. But I actually have some fun stats here that I want to read off, just like historic. First off, C9 hasn't won a championship since 2023 spring when Fudge was on the roster. True. So that was the last time. Fudge, does this mean it's a bigger buff for you?
I mean, it's a little bit of an ego battle, right? Like they kicked me, so obviously I feel like I want to beat them, right? But I like a lot of the people at C9, so it's not like, yeah, fuck these guys, you know, I'm gonna shit on these guys.
There's no like personal bias.
Yeah, it's not like that bad, but obviously, I do feel Thanatos is a little overhyped. Like personally, like I feel like the like, oh yeah, he should be like MVP is a little crazy to me personally. But
hey, me too, bro.
Yeah.
I tried way too hard to prove it, and I got smoked, and I made him look like it, and I was just like, oh my god. But the Gragas game, I got him good.
I mean, obviously, I think he's good. I think Bwipo and Thanatos are clearly like the hardest top laners to play against. The rest are much easier. For sure.
I agree. I think you and Thanatos are the like. Honestly, I'm sorry. I want to interrupt you here just because I want to get this point across. I think top lane is like the most broken role in competitive since like a long time now.
Really?
And I think that, absolutely. I think if you look at any international event, there's almost no boosted top laners. Like it's really hard. It's really hard to find an international event where you look at a top laner and it's like this guy's boosted straight up or like bad at the game. Yeah. Almost all top laners are very good, and I think that on a domestic level it's not as extreme, but I actually believe so at a domestic level as well. The best performing top laners always have the best placements in their region. Sure. It's like very consistent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can actually
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah?
I do feel like top lane is like super high impact right now, just because, especially with like all like the early game swapping and stuff, you can actually make yourself really like carry the early game if you play well. And I think beforehand it was just like, oh, you're laning and your team's losing on bot side. But nowadays I feel like people are way more creative with the macro. So my performance definitely changes the result of the game heavily, I feel. If I don't play well, I feel like the game is just insta-lost, honestly. I mean, that's just how top lane is, really. Like, you either int or you, like, play really well a lot of the time. And, I mean, playing against Thanatos will be definitely not easy. I mean, he's good. But I don't think it's nearly as difficult as playing against Bwipo, to be honest. Every time I lane against him, I just feel like, I mean, it's not lane, actually. It's more so just in the game, I feel like there's way less creative plays going on. That's just how I feel. It's way less creative and it's definitely way more consistent, which obviously you can't, like, there won't be the games where he's playing Shen versus Ambessa and he dies many times, but there also won't be the games where he's playing Set and 1v9 the game, you know? So I think it's like probably just gonna be generally like normal stuff happening in the top lane, and we'll just have to see how we play in fights and how our draft is. Pray for good draft, and
that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
If you lose, it's just draft fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just draft fault if we lose. So I'm praying that goes well, and I mean, just need to get on top of my matchups and draft in general. I think if I understand my matchup well, then I play well. But if I play the first time in a while, then I usually int. So.
Well, it's interesting to hear you say that about Thanatos, because another conversation that was kind of happening more around All Pro was you not making top 3. So while I have you here, I want your quick thoughts on that. Like, do you feel like you deserved it, top 3?
I didn't actually watch like Impact's performance that much, but everyone said it was really bad. I mean, personally, I didn't feel like I played that well this split overall. Like, obviously, the last couple of weeks I played decently. Against TL specifically, I played bad. But the 2 weeks before that, against I think it was 100 and Fly, I played well, I think.
I think the hype came after you were shitting on Bwipo in that one series.
Yeah, it was like that one series, and then
I got smoked there.
Yeah, and it was that one series, and then I think the 100 or something like that where we beat them, and then we lost to TL really hard, and we got stomped in.
Yeah, okay. In the third place match.
So then when that happened, I was like, yeah, Impact's probably gonna get it because I lost to Impact. Like, people are just gonna remember the last game, you know.
Yeah, recency bias.
But the early parts of this play, I wasn't playing well, so I don't.
What changed?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Something.
Well, I think it was after your quote of the coaching staff putting
actually Tana actually helps a lot. I feel like mentally for me. I'm not even kidding. Demonte. He actually helped me a lot as soon as he came in. So just like, I don't know. He's just good vibes, you know? He makes you feel...
The vibes are good?
Yeah, the vibes are good. Like, unironically, the vibes are way better. The vibes are way better.
Vibes are OP.
I mean, when you're having fun, you do play better.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
Obviously, yeah, I mean, I think just general, like, direction and scrims, I think we improved a lot more, like, as a team. And we had a lot more, like, focused practice where we're not, like, just inting and running it down and confused.
Yeah.
So that helped.
So would you say that, like, you felt more rewarded to play well, and like when you played well individually and your team was feeding it, did you feel like it wasn't worth putting in that much effort on your own performance?
Not necessarily. I think it was just like, honestly, I didn't even feel like I ever really played that well individually. Like, there was never games where I felt like, oh, I'm carrying the game in the early part of the split, and then my team's just inting and we're losing. It was kind of just like overall, like, team decision making wasn't good. Overall laning phase wasn't good. I mean, obviously, there's game to game, there's differences, but I don't really know what changed, to be honest. It kind of just clicked. I mean, everything's kind of clicked. It felt like, I mean, it's still like, there's still a lot to work on. Clearly, we're not that good.
Hey, top 3's
we're
not
really
bad.
not that good. Like, I understand we beat TL in 100, but I feel like mental breakdown, like both those teams or something, like towards the end of the split.
I agree with that.
And so to me, it's not like if we beat C9 or Fly, I would be like, yeah, we're good. You know?
Yeah.
But like, last time we played against Fly, it was like 3-0 or something. I don't remember exactly, but
it was close though. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, the game's
You guys should have won game two.
You guys should have won game two.
series, by the way, like, we were so mad about how bad we were at the game. Like, and then we were like, we actually did improve a lot, like, in terms of like Baron usage and like mid game. I think, especially about screaming Flyquest constantly, like their mid game is the best probably. So it helped.
And to be fair, I mean, Palafox seems pretty confident. When I talked to him after the series, he was like, yeah, so excited for C9 and then Fly because we're going to beat C9. And I got to ask Blaber, last time C9 made a finals, it was versus NRG in summer 2023. That's our next stat here. And you did drop that one to Palafox in contracts. So.
And Dokla.
And Dokla. Don't forget about Big Doke.
Big Doke. What's your take on Big Doke?
I saw him retweet one of your clips on Twitter or something.
Yeah, the perseverance.
He's been very active.
Perseverance, and then you saying something about how he's like one season was good and the rest was dog shit or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, basically, like I don't know why, but like every fan in my chat always like talks big about Don Big Dokes, and it's like, dude, in solo queue I play against the guy, I'm like, damn, he's good. The lights turn, like the bright lights are on, he's on stage, I'm like.
I mean, he gets a little nervous for sure, but I mean, on that final specifically, I completely griefed it, to be honest.
Okay.
From my memory.
I think we all did.
I think everyone kind of griefed it.
Well, what's going to be different this time then, Blaber? I want to get your thoughts on the matchup ahead of you because you get a chance to maybe not redeem yourself in the finals, but at least take down Contracts and Palafox now this time.
I mean, I think we're better than Shopify right now. Like, I would commonly say that, but
okay.
I think that they're actually improving a lot. Like, from the beginning of the split to now, I really feel like at the beginning of the split, they were just bad at everything. And then, I mean, that's what I felt, right? And as the split went on, it was like, they were actually good at early game.
Okay.
They were actually pretally decent at mid game, but then they couldn't win the game.
Yeah.
Like, they were just start throwing. So, like, at least they improved on that. And then now I feel like when they get into a good spot in the game, they can close out the game. And I actually feel like they're a pretty good team now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it'll be like a stomp when we play them or something. I think it could definitely be a close series.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm confident in my teammates. Obviously, my teammates are different this time than when I played him. Their teammates are different. I do think my teammates are better.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm confident in my team.
Fair enough,
I'm confident in my team.
What about Contracts though? Because I feel like Contracts is the jungler. When he's hitting his stride, this guy just is like popping off right now. Do you feel like he's in that form? Does that intimidate you at all?
No, I wouldn't say I'm intimidated by Contracts.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's been playing well recently. I think him and Fudge have both. I mean, their whole team's been playing a lot better, but I think him and Fudge have been the two best players on their team recently, or at least the most consistently good players on their team. And I think Contracts has a lot of good plays, like especially Jay, that's the Juani game we're talking about. He ulted Nico like 2 or 3 times. And yeah, he just finds really good angles. I think his early games have been really strong, especially that Inferior game. I don't know how he got the second chickens when Viego had item on him. It's like stuff like that I think he does really well. But yeah, I mean, just in general, I think their team's playing well right now.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing very well. What do you think, though, about the statement of, it seemed like you agreed a little bit of like, you know, tough to end games, to close them out. Do you feel like you're getting better at that? And where do you credit that to?
That was, I mean, I credit to us losing the Flyquest series, to be honest. Like after that, I feel like it was like the most disgusting mental breakdown from everybody. Is like, how do you lose those games, you know? Like, especially that he won, like, I think it was Yorick game or something versus, I forgot what I was playing against, but I was playing Yorick and I killed 2 people and I was like 2k gold up and I didn't like carry the game. I was like monster int. But yeah, after all that, obviously like everyone had a mental breakdown. And after mental breakdowns, as long as you recover from them, you will improve.
Breakdown, rebuild it.
So we improved.
Okay.
And I mean, the whole thing about like the teammates being better thing, I mean, on some games, I definitely think we are pretty inconsistent, like all of us, really. But we do improve. I think we'll improve before next week, once again. Keep it a little bit more clean. Less ints on the Jace on the side lane or the York. And then I think we have a good chance. I mean, obviously, the series will be close.
Yeah. And to the credit of your teammates, I feel like when Energy was able to do it with Palafox and Contract, it was more like the greater than the sum of their parts type of thing, right? Like things just clicked for the team as a whole. So I feel like we get a little bit of that magic with Shopify Rebellion right now as well. But the winner of that will go up to face Flyquest. So Bwipo, first off, you said you think it would be a 3-1, but you didn't say who wins it. Who do you think takes the series on Saturday?
I mean, I have to give it to C9 unless something happens.
Okay.
I think some magic needs to happen, in my opinion, for Shopify to win the series. I just have a hard time because, I held my opinion back on Contracts when you had the conversation about it. I'll share it right now. Contracts and Palafox are simultaneously the best mid-jungle in the league and the worst. In the same game at the same, like, within 20 minutes. It's like, they do some shit and you're just like, wow, pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say the best because I still think ours clears like every game on cooldown, no mercy. But they're like up there. Like I think they can definitely outperform C9 mid-jungle in the same game and then do like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in the same game. Honestly, today I didn't see that, which was like really impressive. Only Palafox had stinkers. Like Contracts honestly didn't have like really bad moments, so props to him. But usually he joins it, he gets in there, and he really starts doing some things. Where it's just like, whoa.
I mean, sometimes the teammates are in things, so you have to like. Do
you have to join, right?
Well, he restrained himself, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
he actually did pretty well
and
today.
to be fair, you say that, but not in his case. Like sometimes some of the shit he does in scrims, bro, like it is inexcusable.
I mean, of course.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page here. So I'm hoping we don't get to see him. But I just personally think that, honestly, I'm more worried about the bot lane. I feel like Sven and Vulcan are going to be hyper consistent and just make sure they're good positions in the game. And I feel like when, I think both teams don't have enough X Factor players, in my opinion. I don't consider Contracts to be X Factor player. He's just like, he steals objectives, but that's about it.
Oh, he's number one in that. He's number one in that.
He's tied with Smithy now.
Yeah,
They're tied at 18 apiece, and there was a moment that we thought maybe he could take it.
Bro. Like,
Yeah.
like, let's be real, guys. Like, anyway, I mean, not to take away from my own teammate. I mean, he's great at smite stealing, of course. But,
He does have very strong smites on average. But I just want to say, like, I don't think there's that much X Factor on either side. I think both teams will just, like, the comp that has the better position will probably end up winning the game, barring throws, which I cannot account for, which I'm assuming, because it's a finals weekend, there'll be a lot of clenching. People will just be, playing their champions, not trying anything crazy, and people will just play their games in peace, and I just have to lean towards C9 because I'm expecting a little bit more firepower from the laning phase. And also when it comes to preparation, I think that C9 has a little bit more in the tank.
What do you mean by X Factor, though? Because I feel like there can be different ways to interpret that. So as a player, like when you say X Factor, what exactly do you mean? And who on your team do you think provides that?
I mean, for me, it's like, when I think about X Factor, it's like, it's not even necessarily like a game-winning moment or a clutch moment. I think clutch and X Factor are two different things. What I'm trying to say is like when you're playing against a team that has a very similar build style as you, because I think that you guys actually have a very similar build style as teams. You guys have two top laners that are like very consistent performers that play meta characters that just do a certain job and they just do it well. They don't like to go out of their way to do crazy things on these champions. Like you play your Yorick, you play your Gnar. It looks the same when you look at 3 different Gnar games, 3 different Yorick games. You look at the nameplates, it's like you could swap them around. It's Fudge, Thanatos. I don't think it's too much of a difference. I think on the carry performances, maybe you would, like on the Ambessa and Gwen, I think Thanatos is going to look a bit better than you are. But I think on the flip side, when you're playing the Scion and the tanks, you're going to look better than Thanatos is. So that's where I'm looking at. And then when you look at the mid jungle, it's like you've got Blaber Contracts. Both these guys will look for fights, bait fights, look for opportunities. I think the supports will do the same, as in like that's usually what you're going to have. They're going to be following their jungler. So the smarter jungler will have the advantage.
There was a point, I don't know if he still holds it, but Seos had like the highest jungle proximity in the league at one time. Because Seos just always went around with the jungler,
And then I think the mid laners are a bit similar as well in the sense that like they are just going to be playing whatever character they're drafted, and they're going to play it to the best of their ability, and they're going to follow their teammates around. I don't think either is going to go crazy and do like mass risk taking. And then I think actually AD carries the most similar. I think Sven and Bwipo is like very similar style. I just feel like C9's players are a little bit better individually. And that's why I'm giving them the edge.
Fair.
Because I think in those similar games, drafts matter so much. And barring C9 drafting some really strange things, if they keep it simple, I'm going to give them a 3-1.
Okay, 3-1 expectation.
No X Factor in the sense that I don't think any of those players, like, they break out of the mold of their archetype as players.
Yeah, I'm seeing some like head nods here. I want to get Blaber and then your thoughts. Do you agree, Blaber? Like X Factor wise, like this current C9 plays pretty standard, or do you feel like there is somebody that maybe isn't getting credit as like a potential X Factor on the team?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that we do well is just we have good engages, I think. I think that's like, I wouldn't say it's an X factor, but I think that's like what we do well as a team. We find good fights. I think we take position in fights well. It's also, I think we're strong laners on the team. Maybe not like super strong, but like, I think we are strong laners. And I think that's where we get a lot of our advantages, especially like against Fly. I think because they play mid game better than us, we need to win fights. We need to do well in the laning phase.
That's something we've noticed too, like Thanatos especially, and now Loki coming on the team, like following up on engages and like actually committing to the fight. But definitely like one of the strengths of C9 right now.
Yeah, so I don't know if like that's an X factor or anything, but I do think that's something that we do well. And yeah, I mean, I think that in general as a team, we draft very standard. The games you see on stage, you can tell, right? Like we're a very standard drafting team. But I do think that we play our drafts how we should. I think sometimes we throw a bit too much, but you know, just got to fix that.
Well, sometimes you also just catch right at the nexus, so you can do both of them at the same time. But Fudge, from you, the X Factor on the team, and because I feel like, to be fair, an X Factor might be necessary to take down C9 based on expectations. This would be the first time Shopify Rebellion's made it to a finals if you can't beat them. So what do you think that X Factor is on the team?
I mean, I agree that there's no player that really like squeezes advantages on our team. I mean, we all kind of just have a vegan mentality a little bit. Like a little bit of a vegan mentality for sure. Like in our gameplay, we're like, we don't need to do anything funny, you know, play our comp out to its win conditions.
There's no hunters on the team.
Yeah, there's
gatherers.
no like, obviously some games you play, like Powerfox playing Leblanc and he does some crazy stuff, right? But usually everyone's kind of like chilling. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like we really need to do anything super special to beat C9. I think we just have to play to our win condition and play well as a team and not make as many mistakes as they do.
Yeah.
Like, I agree that neither team is really going to like have big advantages in terms of like one player is like playing this counter matchup and going to stomp someone. That's never going to happen. I think in reality, in draft probably or on game, but I don't think they're that good. I don't think really any team is like super like unbeatable, but I would definitely say like C9 is not as good as Flyquest in terms of just early game, mid game stuff, and if find that once you get to late game, anything can happen, you know?
Yeah.
You know, no one's really that good in late game. Everyone kind of like runs it down a little bit.
Unless you have those X factors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously certain teams are better, but I just feel like we don't have to do anything special. I feel like when you think that you have to do something special is when you start inting, to be honest.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I agree with this assessment.
Yeah?
You got to let good things come to you in this game.
Yeah.
If you overforce, it can be a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I think that's the name of the game, really. I think, I'm happy to hear it from you because I think that's what the kind of was a big reason why you were struggling. I felt like maybe you felt like you need to make miracles happen. I know that's my experience. Whenever I feel like I need to overperform, make miracles happen, I start fishing for fights that I have no business fishing for.
Right.
But when I am playing patiently, and I think patience in the game is important. I think the most important thing was when the situation occurs that there is an action to be made is how you approach that. And that's what I like consider X factor in the sense of like, you know, if you're playing a composition that's like normally a very slow comp, like hard engaging and finding the right guy at the right moment to one-shot him, like that's like an X factor moment, you know? Like that is like a moment where it's like, damn, this guy just changed the whole pace of the game or like the whole pace of the comp. And I think that's probably why you don't like playing against me. Because I think I tend to do that pretty well. I think it's one of my strengths. And a big learning I had from the C9 series is I got to let good things happen to me. Yeah. I'm a scaling player.
Let them come to you. Let them come to you.
I am not someone that bullies you in laning phase. If I get advantages from early game, it's probably because of my mid jungle just pressuring people. And I realized that like that's a reality check that I got kind of for myself. So yeah, I'm just gonna let my team carry me, and hopefully I'll get a piece of the pie when mid game rolls around.
I mean, the way you've been playing the game and your performance has netted you and, all of Flyquest with first team All-Pro. The last time, this is the final stat that I have, a fun fact here, is the last time a team had all 5 players winning All-Pro first team, it was C9 when they won the split. So do you think Lightning's going to strike again? Do you want to look at the audience in the eyes and say Flyquest is winning the split?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have no confidence. No, excuse me. I have all confidence that my team is going to win. For me personally, I really think if we all just agree that we can play a slow game and a slow game will be in our favor, that's good enough. I think that the name of the game in NA is in fact playing a slow scaling game. I think Shopify cracked the code there for themselves too. They stopped complicating the game, made it about a good solid draft, play the game together and execute the champions that your players perform well. So I'm really happy to see that from their end. And I think Tanner, again, good vibes, but I think the vibes, it's because if you can make your team believe that just playing good League of Legends, standard League of Legends, is good enough to kill an enemy nexus, that is going to outweigh any amount of anything a singular individual can provide. And being able to recover from a mental breakdown, like you mentioned, this is what it takes to perform internationally. Because it's not a matter of if you're going to have a mental breakdown on a team in an international event, it's a matter of when. Yeah, you will. And you need to have players resilient enough to get over that. And for me, the big reason why NA has been, having a resurgence in the last few years internationally is because of that. And I think TL First Stand, for example, they imploded and they had no gas. Like no one could revitalize the team mentally. And that's why I'm happy to see these 3 teams at the table, because I do think there'll be enough mental there. Because I want NA to do well at MSI too. Yes. And that's what we're playing for. So
we absolutely do.
I am happy to see that these 3 teams are at the table, because I think they should have enough mental energy. even after the finals, to go into MSI and have a good performance.
Well, that was so well put, and I mean, you already mentioned it a little bit yourself, Fudge, of the mental break into the rebuild, and Blaber, you just agreed there. So I actually want to get your thoughts on that real quick here about the importance of having that experience at international events and being able to build yourself back up. Like, what's been your personal experience with that?
I mean, just being an NA team, going international, I mean, I've been on with Fudge in many of those rosters.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you will get stomped by the LCK teams, mainly. If you decide to scrim them, like Genji, Chile. If you decide you want to scrim these teams, like very likely you will, realize they know much more about the game than you. They're much better than you at the game, especially in practice, at least. I think on stage, anything can happen. I mean, it's unlikely you'll win, but anything can happen. And usually your team just, starts blaming each other, blaming themselves. Some bad shit just happens. You don't know why you're losing. You're trying to figure it out. You don't know what champs you're going to play because it feels like everything's not working. And you just have to, play well together and, figure it out.
So, final question for you. How are you going to mental boom Fudge on Saturday? What's the strategy going to be? Because you played with him, so clearly you know.
I mean, I don't think that any good team will mental boom on stage like that easily.
Okay.
It's more like a build up before your match. Usually people on stage are very let's try to win, try to boost up your teammates, try to boost yourself up. You want to be in the best possible condition compared to the preparation before is in scrims you can get very heated. You can get very, tilted at your teammates, tilted at yourself, whatever, your coach, I don't know, whatever's happening in the back room. But usually on stage it's people want to win, even if you're down 2-0, it's if you get tilted and your teammates are going to play worse, you're going to play worse. It's not that beneficial.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, well put. Well, best of luck to both of you for Saturday, and then for the winner to go up against Bwipo on Sunday. Finals weekend right around the corner. It's very exciting. Thank you for watching Pros. That's going to be it for us here, but we'll be back next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for C9 versus Shopify. Thanks for tuning in to Pros. We'll see you at Finals weekend.